Am I a coward? Who calls me villain? Breaks my pater cross, plucks off my beard and blows it in my face, tweaks me by the nose, gives me the lie of the throat as deep as to the lungs. Who does me this? Huh? Swoons, I should take it! For it cannot be that I am pigeon-livered and lack gall to make oppression bitter, or ere this I should have fatted all the region kite with this slave's offal. Bloody, bawdy villain, remorseless, treacherous, lecherous, kindless villain, oh, vengeance! Why, what an ass am I. This is most brave. That I, the son of a dear father, murdered. Prompted to my revenge by heaven and hell, must, like a whore, unpack my heart with words and fall a-cursing like a very drab, a scullion, violent foe about my brains. That guilty creatures, sitting at a play, have, by the very cunning of the scene, been struck so to the soul that presently they have proclaimed their malefactions. For murder, though it hath no tongue, will speak with most miraculous organ. I'll have these players play something like the murder of my father before mine uncle. I'll observe his looks. I'll tent him to the quick, if he but blench. I know my course. The spirit that I have seen may be a devil, and the devil hath power to assume a pleasing shape, aim perhaps out of my weakness and my melancholy, as he's very potent with such spirits, abuses me to damn me. I'll have grounds more relative than this. The play's the thing wherein I'll catch the conscience of the king.
And can you by no drift of conference get from him why he puts on this confusion?
He does confess he feels himself distracted, but from what cause he will by no means speak.
Nor do we find him forward to be sounded, but with a crafty madness keeps aloof when we would bring him on to some confession of his true state.
Did he receive you well?
Most like a gentleman.
But with much forcing of his disposition.
Niggard of question, but of our demands most free in his reply.
Did you essay him to any pastime?
Madam, it so fell out that certain players we o'erwrought on the way, of these we told him, and there did seem in him a kind of joy to hear of it.
'Tis most true, and he beseeched me to entreat your majesties to hear and see the matter.
With all my heart, and it doth much content me to hear him thus inclined. Good gentlemen, give him a further edge, and drive his purpose on to these delights.
We shall, my lord.
Come.
I have with good determination thus set it down, he shall with speed to England. Happily the seas and countries different, with variable objects, will expel this something settled matter in his heart, whereon his brains, still beating, puts him thus from fashion of himself. What think you want?
It shall do well, but yet do I believe the origin and commencement of his grief sprung from neglected love. My lord, do as you please, but if you hold it fit, after the play, let his queen mother, all alone, entreat him to show his grief. Let her be round with him, and I'll be placed, so please you, in the ear of all their conference. If she find him not, to England send him, or confine him, where your wisdom best shall think.
It shall be so. Madness in great ones must not unwatched go.
Speak the speech, I pray you, as I pronounced it to you, trippingly on the tongue, but if you mouth it, as many of your players do, I had as lief the town crier spoke my lines. Nor do not saw the air too much with your hands thus, but use all gently. For in a very torrent, tempest, and, as I may say, the whirlwind of passion, you must acquire and beget a temperance that may give it smoothness. Oh, it offends me to the soul to hear a robustious, periwig-pated fellow tear a passion to tatters.
to very rags, to split the ears of the groundlings, who for the most part are capable of nothing but inexplicable dumb shows and noise. I'd have such a fellow whipped for ordering termagant. It out-Herods Herod. Pray you avoid it.
I warrant, Your Honor.
Be not too tame, neither, but let your own discretion be your tutor. Suit the action to the word to the action, with this special observance, that you o'erstep not the modesty of nature. For anything so overdone is from the purpose of playing, whose end, both at the first and last, was and is to hold, as 'twere, the mirror up to nature. To show virtue her own feature, scorn her own image, the very age and body of the time, his form and pressure. Now this overdone, or come tardy off, though it make the unskilful laugh, cannot but make the judicious grieve, the censure of the which one must, in your allowance, o'erweigh a whole theatre of others.
I hope we have reformed that indifferently with us, huh?
Reform it altogether. And let those that play your clowns speak no more than is set down for them. For there be of them that will themselves laugh, to set on some quantity of barren spectators to laugh too, though in the meantime some necessary question of the play be then to be considered. That's villainous, and shows a most pitiful ambition in the fool that uses it. Go, make it ready. Good, my lord. Will the king hear this piece of work?
And the Queen too, and that presently.
Bid the players make haste.
Ta-da!
Will you two help to hasten them?
We will, my lord.
Horatio.
Sweet lord, at your service.
Horatio, thou art e'en as just a man as ere my conversation cope withal.
My dear lord.
Nay, do not think I flattered as thou hear. Since my dear soul was mistress of her choice and could of men distinguish, her election hath sealed thee for herself. Give me that man that is not passion's slave, and I will wear him in my heart's core. I, in my heart of heart, as I do thee. Something too much of this. There is a play tonight before the king. One scene of it comes near the circumstance which I've told thee of my father's death. I pray thee, when thou seest that act afoot, even with the very comment of thy soul, observe, mine uncle, if his occulted guilt do not itself unkennel in one speech. It is a damned ghost that we have seen, and my imaginations are as foul as Vulcan's smithy.
Well, my lord, if he steal aught the whilst this play is playing and escape detecting, I will pay the theft.
They're coming to the play. I must be idle. Get you a place.
Fares our cousin Hamlet?
Excellent, i' faith. Of a chameleon's dish, I eat the air promise crammed.
I have nothing with this answer, Hamlet. These words are not mine.
No, nor mine now. My lord, you played once at the university, you say?
That did I, my lord, and was accounted a good actor.
What did you enact?
I did enact Julius Caesar. I was killed in the Capitol. Brutus killed me.
'Twas a brute part of him to kill so capital a calf there. Be the players ready?
Aye, my lord, they stay upon your patience.
Come hither, my dear Hamlet. Sit by me.
No, good mother. Here's metal more attractive.
Aha, do you mark that?